What's going on, everybody? Today is September 1st, 2021. Today I just want to go over my lower body and core focus day, talk about some important topics, and hopefully provide a little bit of information on some different techniques for squatting and deadlifting. So let's get started. First up, I'm just going through a little movement patterns. I'm trying to do some scorpions, down dogs, and cobra, just trying to provide some blood flow to my core and my erectors. Today we're going to be moving some heavy loads through some movement patterns when there's a lot of stress on your spine. So we have to use our core for the important job that it has, which is to keep our spine safe and in a neutral position through different movement patterns. So here you're going to see me doing a high bar back squat. The important thing to know is where the bar is sitting on my back, it's very high up, and when I squat you're going to see that I have a very vertical torso angle and that my knees are tracking past my toes forward. Okay, because of that, it's allowing me to keep a more upright posture, which is going to force my quads to work a little bit more than if I did a low bar back squat. Now, if you pay attention to where my nipple is in relation to my knee, you're going to see my knees track about 6 inches forward relative to that position. Now, when you look at a low bar back squat, they're going to be at about the same position. When you're doing low bar back squatting, you're going to be pushing your butt back a little bit further, so cue yourself with that. It's also going to help you move more load. That's why you'll always see powerlifters assuming this position. It's going to help disperse the weight and make it a little bit easier for you to move more weight because you don't have to worry about how vertical your torso angle is. If you watch Olympic lifting, you'll notice that they're the opposite. They try to keep very vertical torso angles using a high bar. Next, for my core movement, I'm going to do a dead bug hold with my arms overhead and extension. That's going to challenge my core to keep a posterior tilt, making sure that I'm only using my core and that I'm not trying to go into extension and arch my back and let my lower back do the work. That's a very important premise that you must learn so you can keep your lower back out of all core movements. This is a very important principle that everyone needs to learn to do when they're doing core movements. Now, I've worked up to my working weight. Today I'm going to do 275 pounds, trying to stay nice and upright of a high bar back squat. I'm staying away from doing super heavy lifts. I'm going to try to grow my legs a little bit and work on my quad strength. So I'm going to do a little bit more volume. Here you can see I'm sped up. I'm doing a set of 10. I'm trying to keep good form, opening my hips, upright torso angle, and now I'm going to normal speed so you can see how these reps look in real time. Exhausting doing this much volume. The weight sitting on your back for a long period of time definitely elevates your heart rate. Great way to burn calories and work on your leg strength, as well as building a little bit of muscle since I'm doing sets of 10. Now, you're seeing that I'm doing a hollow leg lift. I'm just holding onto the kettlebell ahead of me. Having my arms above my head is trying to pull me in extension, meaning it wants to naturally make my lower back arch. So me resisting and again keeping that posterior tilt is making me work a little bit harder and really isolating my core. The goal is to work my core out and to keep my lower back out of the movement. So again, really important concept, guys. Press your back against the ground. What not to do in a deadlift when you're going to hurt your back versus how you should pull your spine into a neutral position by anterior rotation of your hips. Opposite of that posterior rotation we were doing in those core movements. I'm going to resist the urge of going into flexion or arching my lower back, and that is going to work my core in a tremendously functional way. That's why deadlifting is beautiful, guys. You're going into a perfect hip hinge, pushing your butt back, maintaining perfect integrity of your spine, and really shocking your nervous system and building strength in a movement pattern that you're going to do every single day the rest of your lives. So get efficient at it and get to a good base level of strength. Again, exhausting movement pattern, using a trap bar, allowing me to kind of have a little bit more knee flexion and making it a little more quad dominant. Now, I'm doing a little bit of rotational work, holding on to this 30-pound medicine ball. I'm kind of laying back, trying to keep a nice V shape, and I'm just going back and forth pretty dynamically, trying to be pretty forceful with impact on the ground. Honestly, this is something new I've added to my routine. Aaron Donald, my favorite football player, who's a monster. I've seen him do this a lot, so I just kind of wanted to throw it in. It's great, it's pretty dynamic. It's not really replicating too many things that you do in real life. It's also a very difficult movement, so I would advise trying without weight before you try with weight. Next, we need to do some single-legged movement. We need to make sure that we are symmetrical with everything we do. So here you see I'm doing some barbell reverse lunges. I love reverse lunges. They're a little easier on your knee than the forward walking momentum of a lunge. So try these out if you have any knee pain when you're doing any movement patterns. Also, the bigger step you take back, the more of your hamstrings and glutes you're going to work. The smaller step you take, the more knee flexion you'll go into, working your quad a little more. So that's just a fun fact. Maintain a nice, tall, neutral spine, guys. If you're hinging over a lot, it's going to put a lot more pressure on your lower back, so try to stay nice and upright. Last, we're going to finish off with a little bit of glute and hamstring work here. I'm going to do some single-legged hip thrusts. So I'm just putting a 53-pound kettlebell on one of my hips. From there, I'm going to drive through the heel of my foot, trying to get my hips as high as I can, squeezing my glutes at the top, maintaining a neutral spine, and keeping my belly really tight. And that's going to wrap it up, guys. So I really appreciate you being here. Please comment if you want to see anything specific in the future. Like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps. I'm going to try to provide as much content in the future as possible. I want to try to do more educational formatted things and just help motivate, inspire, whatever this is for you guys. I just hope it helps. Please reach out. I'd love to help you all. Have a great day. Be safe. Be healthy. See you guys soon.